came up with a way to get located when you're lost at sea or on land. And smoke, flares, die, it all goes away quickly. I came up with a simple, long piece of plastic that I patented struts in it. So it's like a centipede, it won't twist up. Very simple idea, but I got a broad patent, got a bunch of military approvals all over the world, and I've just been working the media for 30 years and ultimately I got it on Shark Tank. And Shark Tank's great because they rerun it on CNBC. So I've been selling streamers all over the world to militaries.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Want to attract and convert more leads? Want to learn how digital PR, branding, and SEO can establish and build your brand identity? Welcome to the Market Movers Building Brands and Links with Linkify podcast. We answer these questions and help you ramp up your brand visibility and credibility. Let's cut through the noise and make your business the talk of the town. We're your hosts, Nick and Chris. Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the Market Movers podcast. Today I'm joined by Dr. Rob Yonover, founder of Sea Rescue Corporation, to break down how deep scientific credibility, military adoption, and free press became a repeatable growth engine for life-saving technology. Welcome to the show, Rob.
Thanks a lot, Chris. It's great to be here. I appreciate that.
We've had a few technical difficulties to make this happen, but we're all good now. Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would, and how Sea Rescue came to be.
Sure. I'm a scientist, volcanologist, and I was getting my PhD in Hawaii, and I came up with a way to get located when you're lost at sea or on land, because I always seem to be on the edge of dying and getting lost. And smoke, flares, die, it all goes away quickly. I came up with a simple, long piece of plastic that I patented struts in it. So it's like a centipede, it won't twist up. Very simple idea, but I got a broad patent, got a bunch of military approvals all over the world, and I've just been working the media for 30 years and ultimately I got it on Shark Tank, which was great. And even now someone just grabbed my Shark Tank pitch and it has 58 million hits on YouTube, which is pretty cool. And Shark Tank's great because they rerun it on CNBC. So I've been selling streamers all over the world to militaries, even in your country, and it saved some lives. That was the best part of all. A guy came up to me, a couple guys have thanked me for saving their lives, and that was incredible. And even when I was in the tank with those guys, I couldn't believe they didn't want to save more lives. They all love the technology. All 5 sharks said, "This is great. It's going to save lives." But I was really shocked at how much they're into money only. How much money's enough?
Yeah.
I said, let's go save some more lives. It'll be really useful for your guys' ego and just your whole personality instead of just being money guys. But it actually worked out better because now I'm not controlled at all by them and I'm free to do things the way I like, which is free form. I had a licensee for 15 years, which is a great experience, and that's ideal. But you can't always get licensees to pay you guaranteed royalties like I did for 15 years. So I went back to the drawing board like 5 or 10 years ago. I got it back and I've just been running it myself and it's great. It's just keep, building up. I have all the barriers to entry. I have patents and military approvals. So the competitors have really been held off. And again, I have the credibility from years of being with the militaries from all over the world. And I even got it on SpaceX. It's under the ass of every astronaut, which is kind of cool. And it's just such a simple design. Yeah, and I really get a kick out of that because it's on like $300 million F-16s. They have it, some of them. So it's like $300 million plane, $100 piece of plastic. Yeah. So you do the math, but it's pretty valuable.
That's awesome. All right, for those that don't know, for maybe our UK listeners, Shark Tank is the US equivalent of Dragon's Den. So it's a terrifying room where you have to go and present your product. And for those that haven't seen Rob's episode, I implore you to go and watch the YouTube clip because this device, I think Rob is underselling it. And for me, the real sort of aha moment is the part on the clip where you show a TV screen with a zoomed out view of the ocean, where I think you said that there is a head, a bobbing head in this image, and it is impossible to see.
Correct.
And then we see another clip, which is Rob's device, which is, as he's described, is a sort of a long vertical piece of floating, non-bending or tangling plastic. And
Right.
it just pops on the screen. So any sort of helicopters or rescue missions would easily be able to identify the exact location within this vast area of ocean to make the rescue.
Exactly. And the military likes it because you can put it away and redeploy it. Try doing that with smoke or flares.
Yeah.
So there's a big advantage there. And yeah, it's interesting. I sold it in my mind on that picture, that before and after picture, before I even invented it. I'm like, okay, I know what the before looks like because I'm flying above the water or up on volcanoes. There's all this land. The after picture is the same view, but a little orange line pointing to where the person is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very, very simple. And sometimes the simplest ideas are the better, are the best.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you talked about, but before we get into sort of your growth strategy and post Shark Tank, you talked about patents and being protected. So is that a huge part of this industry? Is that?
Yes, absolutely. Early on, it was the reason I could play with the big boys, Boeing, Lockheed, all these big companies, without getting ripped off immediately. And from there, I started getting military approvals, which led to stock listed, national stock numbers. So not only does it have patent protection, but it has military approvals, which are hard to get. You can't just get those. You have to earn them. And sometimes they take millions of dollars of testing on the military side, and they have to decide they want to. So all these barriers to entry, including the name, trademarking the name. I mean, it's very important for small-time inventors to think about how do you protect your hardware, in this case, from getting ripped off. I know your show is predominantly software based. I mean, that's the whole world is software based. I'm from the old school, which is you invent a device. And to invent a device and try to get into the military sector, you got to have protection. So the patents were a good way to go.
And let's talk about, before we get into like strategy, what did the growth journey look like? Like, how was the company and the idea doing? Was there much traction pre-Shark Tank? What did it look like sort of? Was it like an emotional hit when they didn't invest? Which, when you see that before and after photo, if you'd have just seen that, you'd have gone, well, they're definitely investing in this. It's genius. It's brilliant. Obviously, I think they had concerns with like the sort of the commercial rollout of it as a commercial product. So what did that look like? And then post-Shark Tank?
First of all, before Shark Tank, I was operational for 20 years. 15 years was with a licensee. And we had a lobbying group that helped us get military interests and get that further down the road. So that built a nice foundation. So I went into Shark Tank with all these sales, military approvals, a nice history. Shark Tank aired to 9 million people in one night. And but the thing I've learned from 30 years of doing this, unfortunately, is safety is a hard sell. I mean, you look at airbags and seat belts in your cars. The only reason those happened in the US was because of the Europeans saying, I don't know, Mercedes or Volvo saying, this is an important technology. So we didn't have that, and we still don't have that with the streamer. So I'm waiting for someone to say, take the lead on this. And even the military approvals I have they're optional. No one's mandated it. And that's what I was trying to push on Shark Tank with your guys' lobbying and effort and leverage, Mark Cuban, all these famous money guys. You could maybe get a law enacted, and there will be one day, because every life jacket, every life raft should have not only flotation capability, but signaling capability. It's a no-brainer. And I think like all the sharks agreed, but getting there, it is a heavy lift. And even 9 million viewers and then 58 million likes on YouTube. I got 16 million on TikTok. Millions of people love this thing, but how many people go to buy it is surprisingly small on the civilian sector. You know, we sold maybe a couple $100,000 worth, but it should have been millions of dollars worth when you have that kind of exposure. So it keeps harping to the thing I've always known, which is safety is a tough sell.
Yeah.
Unless you're in that situation. I always say, if I was on a boat going up to people lost in sea and selling it, they'd pay me $1 million for one.
Yeah.
It would save them. People can't in their head figure out that they must be precautious and have the precaution to buy something. It's like insurance, and people don't want to do it unless they're forced to. And that's the battle with the Coast Guard and other agencies that have to step up and mandate this. And it will be mandated, probably when I'm dead, long and gone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's really weird that it's not. Yeah, it's not part of like you can't if you're going to go out. Let's say every single person that owns a boat, a yacht in the world, it just makes sense to have this on board, doesn't it? Next to the
Exactly. Well, at least on the life raft,
yeah.
they all have life rafts, and on every life raft, they're required to have flares or smoke and sea dye marker.
Mm.
And I used to argue, why not have a streamer instead of or in addition to these? And that's a very weird market. Those guys have been around for 100 years. They don't want to get pushed out by some crazy guy in Hawaii with a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
So I also
Yeah.
learned the hard way not to down their stuff. You know, some guys love sea dye marker, but you know, it goes away quickly with the currents.
Yeah.
And everything that doesn't last long. So it's surprising to me. I'm still kind of shocked, but I don't know what else to do except keep going on till I get my quote unquote big break in terms of the mandate. But
Yeah. And are you actively sort of involved in any lobbying or sort of industry discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of a group, a SAFE Association is a group with military survival experts from all over the world. We meet every year. So that's my big effort. And again, surprisingly, and unfortunately, the US is not as big a customer as the Canadians, Singapore, the British. It's more like the international people seem to be more safety conscious. I guess us Americans still are recovering from that cowboy image. You know, we're tough guys. But I'm not doing the formal lobbying thing, which is what I was trying to get Shark Tank guys on board because they have the money to get the lobbying done and get some of the bigger grants and things going with the military. Some of this you need some leverage, and I don't have it. I have it on the grassroots effort. Everyone knows who I am. They know the technology, but again, they still don't want to go over that hump of saying it's a mandated item. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Some people do it. Some of the life raft companies do mandate it, but not globally.
Yeah, it seems like something that we unfortunately probably will happen at a later date where you won't be able to enjoy the results as much.
Well, it's okay.
For me, it seems like a really visually self-explanatory product, something that would like obviously lend itself to short form visual content on social platforms and things like that.
Right.
One of the things that you think was part of like an asset towards the early success was how well you established proof creation and step by step in terms of field tests, expected outcomes, packaged results, press, all of this stuff together. Do you think that was needed on top of just how like visually compelling it is?
Everything's needed in the safety sector. People do not want to think about safety. So even when you show them, and you're right, that before and after picture, within seconds, you get it.
Yeah.
And whether it's on land or water, you get it. And I used to get people come up to my booth that are pilots that look for people for a living. And they run up to me going, oh my God, I wish I saw this. I spent hours looking at mountains and ocean and not seeing anyone. And the other thing that tells you it's right is the guys that do get saved some way or another, whether they use a streamer or not, they always say the same thing. Why'd you fly over me 5 times? Yeah. Why didn't you see me? Well, the answer is your head's as big as a coconut or a rock. And when you fly in a plane and you look for a coconut floating in the water, you're not going to see it, or a rock on a mountainside. So it's really frustrating, and it has been, but I'm used to that frustration level, and it drives me because it's kind of like, I know this is the right answer. I've known this for 30 years, and I just keep plugging away. You know the tortoise and the hare, that great fable? The hare's sprinting around. I'm the tortoise. I'm just going along. And part of the secret of why I have the longevity is because I have low overhead. I always knew I don't want to take a bunch of investors. And people over the years always want to invest, but I don't really want their money because they're going to want me to fast track it and grow quickly. But the risk that is if it doesn't grow quickly, they're going to want to blow up the company and sell the assets. So I've taken the approach of the tortoise approach, which is keep plugging away, make some money, and get a good break, and get a nice big sale, and then it's kind of slow, keep plugging away, and it works better. And I know most companies want the explosive growth and all that, and I just think that it's not correct for every technology.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. What is it? Just out of interest, is it something which can be like easily integrated like onto a life jacket? So
absolutely, it's this big. It's as big as a cell phone. It has a little strap on it.
It's crazy to me that everybody wouldn't just say, it should be on every life jacket, every plane. When they do the little presentation when you're about to take off, this is your whistle.
Right.
This is the thing that you see, so that so they can see you. Like
Exactly. I don't understand it. I really don't. I'm too close to it. So it used to frustrate me. But the only thing I can think of is the not invented here syndrome. Have you heard of that?
Go on.
Right. So if a military guy thought of this that was high up, it probably would go right through and that would have been mandated already. But because I'm kind of an outsider, my father was a military guy. He was in the Battle of the Bulge and all that, but that doesn't rank as much as if my father was a general, an active general or admiral right now. Maybe it's, or the CDI or smoke companies came up with it and they just kind of pushed it. I was an outsider, so I think they never really accepted the fact that this volcanologist from Hawaii can come up with a technology that disrupts the whole survival signaling market. So it's been it's a tough slog, but I'm never given up. But I'm also tempered. I'm also not as excited as I used to be. I don't get as frustrated as I used to be when people don't get it. Like, I mean, you've just been exposed to it. You get it. Anyone who looks at that before and after picture gets it. And and I used to think maybe it was pricing. And early on, this is an interesting discussion, is I wanted to cost like $20. And my friend says, no, it should cost $100. This is 20 years ago. I'm like, $100? He goes, yeah, it's going to save your life. Look at the benefit. And the truth is, he was right. It's almost like if you sell it too cheap, people will ignore it. If you sell it for more, people think there's more value. It's kind of strange. And since then, I've added lights and reflectors, so there's a night signaling component. So, and it's in a holster now. It's a real sexy piece of gear. The other thing is, when people touch it, my thing is I give it to you to touch and hold, and then I take it back from you. And I think there's something mental, like, oh my God, I have that in my hand. If I go hiking or boating and I might need it, shit, I had one in my hand and I let it go. So there's something about that. But I mean, I'm also open to how to market this better. And, I'm approached always by these SEO guys and all these guys. I watched your Hoppa guy from Hoppa. That's brilliant stuff, but that's usually marketing to people that already want something or know about. Right. Yeah. So this is kind of like a blind marketing thing. It's a safety. It's a tough sell. So whenever these marketing guys approach me, I say the same thing, which is, hey, how about if we do it on commission only? And they scurry away. Everyone wants to get paid up front. Well, hey, I want to get paid up front too, but I can't afford to pay you X $10,000 a month to be my PR or marketing or SEO specialist. How about I pay you nothing and I'll give you 10% of all the sales you generate? I'm still waiting for that person to show up.
It's interesting because it is so visual. It's so compelling. Let's talk about post Shark Tank then. You've been a big I talk about this as the Shark Tank effect, especially when it comes to online businesses, e-commerce businesses. Anybody that's been on Shark Tank, if you go to their website, you will see as seen on Shark Tank. Right. It's that front page authority signal to those prospective customers that this thing has been on Shark Tank. Right. You can trust us. And I think you really lent into that post Shark Tank as well. So how have you leveraged that success, and how are you like doubling down on that authority that you've managed to build?
Well, first of all, they don't let you say that unless you get a deal.
Oh, really?
I can't say that. I mean, I can show the link. They let you have one picture of me on stage, but I'm not supposed to share the video. And the one on YouTube is someone, I don't even know this person, Trendex. They lifted it. So I can't show it on my own site. But I've leveraged it continuously by just being on there and saying that they all supported it. And yes, it's great credibility. And you have CNBC re-airs the episode. So it was like 7 years ago I was on. It's been on 100 times or more.
Really?
They keep airing it. People keep saying, man, how come you look so old? I go, first of all, it was 7 years ago. And second of all, I was in the hair and makeup trailer. So, they made me look more pretty.
Yeah.
But I keep working that. That's a great angle. But the other thing is they're usually commodity driven. And even the line I had on Shark Tank in the post interview that didn't make the cut was, are you disappointed? I go, yeah, I'm disappointed. They'd rather invest in cupcakes than saving lives. And it really, the crew they loved that, but there was no way they were going to put that on the show
Yeah.
because the products they have are usually, food related or making your life a little easier, just kind of little niches. I was a real piece of technology, and that was unique for them. So and I'm also part of the Shark Tank group. All the people that have been on there, we have this little private Facebook group. So we have meetings, and I learn a lot about, how to do all this marketing that they do, but it's a different animal. The streamer's a different beast than selling cupcakes or cookies or whatever they're selling. It's different. It's a commodity. This is not a commodity. So I keep leveraging it whenever I can, but and it works great. I mean, it opens a lot of doors. When people hear that, they always have to say, did you hang out with Mark Cuban? They always have their questions about what it was like. And it was real, by the way. They didn't know me. I just knew who they were. And it was a straight pitch. There was no like, hey, that sounded good. Let's do that again. And I was like in there for an hour, and Mark Cuban wouldn't leave me alone. He kept talking to me about volcanoes. Finally, Mr. Wonderful said, hey, let's talk about the streamers. I could talk to this guy all day. I think he was starved to talk about something more technical than the usual items that are on there. But, I'm still trying to leverage it. And it's, yes, it is on my website. It is on social media. And I use it whenever I can. And sometimes, though, the show, I don't know how much credibility it gets for like technology for survival in the military versus just a regular consumer product. But it's still useful. And I even have little pictures from Shark Tank that I give out at my booth, and people get a kick out of that. So it's massive media. I mean, I'm all about it. And I built the company based on the media. My brother was in advertising, and he told me editors are sitting on their ass wondering what to write about. So I used to just contact editors. I have a book that's like 6 inches thick of all the different publications I've been in. I even got the streamer in Playboy magazine back in the day.
Tell us about that.
It was just a blurb on new gear, but nothing with the models. I offered to do a follow-up, but they didn't take me up on it. But I've been in every magazine. I've been all over. I was on the Innovation Nation, another show. Like, it's not like Shark Tank, but it's a different CBS show, and Discovery Channel. I'm because that's, to me, that getting, even like being on your show, you have no agenda. I didn't pay you to talk about it. So for people to hear you say this is good, that's better. That's third-party endorsement. That's much more credible than me taking an ad out. So I've always thought that organic way to get people the word out, and it's worked. I mean, I've made a living from this, and I've been selling them for 30 years. We did 15 million in sales when I was with the licensee for 15 years. So we did well when we had money behind it. Now it's smaller, but we get nice hits here and there. And like I've always told people, I'm not going away, and I'm going all the way. Who's coming with me? And going all the way, like I said, I might be 90 or 100 by the time I mandate it, but I'll just get a little chuckle as I die, probably.
I think you're doing it exactly right. I think unfortunately, there is like an educational element to this. People aren't saying or actively searching or looking to consume content or interact with large language models to say, I'm going hiking or I'm going on a boat. Is there anything outside of all of the mandated or suggested safety stuff that I can take to, except maybe, absolute people that are, really, really concerned. So there is an education element to it. And that comes from persistently being in the media, getting this thing in front of people.
Exactly. And you can go broke quickly if you pay for media. So the way I've done it is to try to get the sales you have to fund the PR efforts of getting the word out organically. And it's worked for me. And I think you're absolutely right. It's a tough sell, but that's why I've really ended up in the military, because the military, all the militaries, they train their guys. They don't want to lose their guys, literally and figuratively. So they are much more in tune with devices that can save their ass. So it's almost like they are mandated to be safe, to be safer than civilians. And that's where the big business is for me, because they're just safer than, And again, a lot of people think, well, this should be on planes or boats, and why isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, why isn't it? But they don't want to carry extra weight because it costs more fuel. That's the real answer. The airlines and the boating industry, the cruise industry, they'll fight anything new that weighs something. And even though it weighs
Nothing.
yeah, it's like a half a pound. They're tiny.
Well, I'm looking to book a cruise at some point, maybe this year, early next year.
Okay.
I'd feel a lot safer if I had one of these little devices on it, because I don't want to see. I tell you what, it's like a horror movie nightmare to think that you're in the middle of the ocean and the plane is flying over you and it goes past you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and it can't see you. That's just terrifying.
That's why when I tell people that story about the guys that lived through that, that's probably 2% of the people that have had that experience. The other 98% are dead.
Yeah.
They had that experience and then they died. A horrible death, because it's like they're so excited. There's the plane. There's the helicopter. They see me. They don't see you because you're insignificant in the massive ocean or land. So it's a tough one.
Rob, how as we get towards the end of this, it's a fascinating discussion. Honestly, I think you've got a great product, and I think also as well, I think your personality is an amazing endorsement for the products. How long have you got left on the patent, and is there sort of like a post-patent plan?
Yeah, I mean the patents only last 20 years, so I had one that dovetailed into I have an auto deploy one for the fighter pilots that goes out automatically. So that gave me another 20 years. They overlap. But again, the most important thing is the military approvals and endorsements and testing, because that's worth more than the patents, really, in the military sector. But yeah, you're right. I mean, soon I can have competitors, but again, the market is not huge. So sometimes I hope for a competitor to break it open big, and then I say, okay, well, I'm the original, I'm the real one that works. You guys didn't even test yours. But the world of patents, you don't get a patent, you can't just extend them. You only get 20 years and that's it, unless you come up with another unique aspect of the device. And the self-deploying one had water-soluble ties, so when it hits the water, it dissolves and goes out automatically if the fighter pilot is dead or unconscious. So that was a new wrinkle to the technology, which enabled it to get another patent. But again, you got to just build your credibility, and in my case, build the approvals and the stock numbers. The national stock numbers means it's in the military buying system. So the Royal British Air Force, you guys could buy it just from filling this number in. And it's not that easy to get that number. And that number represents millions of dollars of testing, successful testing that they did. All the branches of the military have approved it too. So it's not just the Navy. It's the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Army. They've all done their testing. They've all approved it. So it's very hard to get all of that like overnight. You can't just get that. It takes years. So that's kind of how I parlayed the patents into a stronger hold on stronger barriers.
Makes sense. Okay, Rob, what is next for the business? Have you been sitting on any ideas that you've
I got one. I got a bigger idea than this, and I'm getting pretty tired of it. It's really simple. It's a pocket desalinator. Convert salt water to fresh water. That's the big challenge. Not just the military, not just survival, but developing nations. The future wars aren't going to be fought over oil like they're fighting now. It's going to be fought over fresh water. So imagine going down to the water, any Mediterranean Sea, any ocean, filling this little bag with water. It's a double bag. The inner bag has a Gore-Tex window, which is expanded Teflon. Only vapor goes through. That's why it's a good raincoat. So it breathes, but the water bounces off. I use it in reverse. You put some salt water in there, the sun heats it, it evaporates, only the fresh water vapor goes through it. The salt gets stuck and then it condenses on the inside of the outer bag and you can drink it.
Is this invented already? Is this your technology? Is it?
Yeah, I have patents on it and I've got military funding, but it's not on the market yet because it doesn't make enough water yet. But the question is, what's enough? And the military wants a pint a day. That's a lot. And I know a guy that was lost at sea for 47 days. He had a mouthful a day and he lived. This makes about a mouthful a day. And I'm working on optimizing that to get that value up higher.
Okay.
And I have an inflatable rescue board. I have a pocket flotation device, video search and rescue. I've got a lot of survival inventions. So yeah, I'm not done yet, but
Okay.
I smartly picked this one because I knew that it had a good future of pushing in sales.
Yeah.
The other ones are, it's a matter of development and racing to get it done. And
I think the water one is definitely. I think you're
yeah,
completely right.
that's not just survival. That's people dying in Africa because there's no water. You give these out, or after a hurricane or a flood, when the water gets contaminated, you can use this and purify your water, whether it's salt or fresh water. So yeah, that's the one that's driving me lately.
Okay, well, we'll have to get you back on when that's out. Right, Rob, you've been an amazing guest. I love the product. I think you've done an amazing job. If people want to reach out to you, find you, where can they go? And if they want to buy this life-saving device, where can they get it from?
Yeah, go to Sea Rescue Streamer online or Rob Yonover on all social media, and Amazon. I'm not sure. It depends where they are in the world. We do a lot of civilian sales through Amazon here in the U.S., but I think it's all over. So just go online, check it out, and enjoy. And I hope you never need it. Is what I tell people. It's a good thing to have, but you don't really want to use it.
Yeah.
Unless you have to.
Yeah. Rob, absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris. My pleasure, Chris. All right, take care. Bye-bye.